I don't need you telling me when to go. Seriously. All right. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Natural Tennis Solutions. Today is a big topic, the toss. It is something that haunts us very, very badly. Most of the time, we get caught tossing with our arm, bending at the elbow, bending at the wrist, and toss flying everywhere. We've been told, keep the arm straight, keep the wrist straight, toss, but there's still problems. Still things go a little bit off. So I'm going to offer an alternative here, and it's going to have to do with turning the arm to the point where we're actually holding the ball this way. If I turn toward you, you can see how I'm holding this ball. So now the wrist joint is out of play. It cannot bend too much. I can still do a little bit of a flexion, but it's a lot less than it would be if it's doing this. The elbow could still be a problem, but it's not as turned as it would be if I was still doing this. So I'm trying to take these two joints out of the picture by making sure that I toss this way. I've seen a bunch of the pros do this, so this seems to be a pretty good way to get this toss to go. This will be an experimentation. I need a little bit of help from you guys if you can try it and then let me know how it goes for you if you've been having a lot of trouble with your toss. If you don't have trouble with your toss, don't worry about changing it. At this point, I want to get to the release. It's just that. Just opening my fingers and getting that to go. Once I get into the actual tossing motion where I go in and get the toss to go up, that's going to be a whole nother piece. All right, so now we have the side view. I want to show you guys from the side what this is going to look like. I'm going to make you practice this a little bit. Well, you can do it whichever way you want, but I'm going to suggest to set up facing forward and get the arm across the body a little bit. Trying to keep the arm parallel to the baseline. If you look at a lot of the pros now, they are tossing with their arm parallel to that baseline. This is an exaggeration. I love to use exaggerations to get you guys to learn this stuff. So I'm putting my arm out across my body, and then I am just releasing the ball and catching it again. Releasing the ball, catching it again. If I come around, I kind of add this little nuance to it. I don't know if you guys want to do this, but you can see what feels comfortable for you. I get to rotate back a little with my core. I rotate a little bit this way, and then I come around and release the ball. So as long as you have a little bit of momentum building, that's what I'm trying to get into this with this little nuance, is rotate back a little to come the opposite way so that I can get a little bit of momentum. Instead of just using my arm to actually do it, I'm using a little bit more of my body. So I'm rotating back, coming forward and releasing. So now the release of the ball, what I want you to get in your head here is you want to release the ball but have your arm go above it. So if you're releasing the ball but imagining that your hand is going faster than the ball once you've released it, it kind of gives you a setup like this. So my arm is actually going up in a straight line so that it can't really make the toss go anywhere else other than in a straight line going up. Kind of like a cylinder going up this way. So I come around, I go up, and I get my hand to go above the ball. If you can see that, my hand is going above the ball. The ball is dropping there. Of course, this toss is a little low right now, but as you start getting a little momentum and gaining momentum, you can make the ball go even higher, but you're still trying to think to keep your hand going above the ball so that that cylindrical shape can still stay there so the ball can go up in a straight line. Staying up. And now I'm getting the toss to go a little higher. Getting it to go higher. So practice that a little bit. Get yourself a little bit familiar. Good luck. Okay, so now let me just get into a little bit of the example of what it would look like when I'm actually set up to go through the serve. Now I'm not facing forward like we were before, just practicing this part. Now I'm going to get into the actual toss from here. See if this looks familiar to you. I know a lot of the pros do this. When they set up to serve, they lean forward a little, and then there's a little bit of a turn with their core to go this way. So I set up with my lean, and now I come around and I get that toss to go up. So I'm getting the lean in and I toss. With the setup, make sure that you have the racket in hand when you start doing it this way, just so you can get pretty familiar with what it's going to be. So I come around and toss. The height is going to vary for people. Some people like it a little higher, some lower. But just realize that the release with the hand in this position, as long as you're trying to get this to feel a little bit more familiar, that's where you're going to be able to get a little bit more successful with this toss. The turn and the release. If you feel this video was beneficial to your game, please share, like, subscribe. Also, what I wanted to get into right now is going to be that I don't want to make these videos mostly a monologue. I kind of want to make it a dialogue. So I want you guys to help me out with what I'm trying to teach here. If you find some better way to teach this, please let me know. I want to know. I want to improve upon what I've felt or what I've actually found with certain things that I actually work with. So hopefully you guys are trying this out, and see you soon.